Stephen A. Smith spoke on First Take about the Lakers' defensive woes, and DAngelo Russell comments on the magnitude of the Lakers' remaining schedule. But before we get into that, most people watching this video right now aren't subscribed, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's talk about Stephen A. Stephen A. Smith, host and executive producer of First Take, commented on the Lakers' inability to play defense, although their starters are playing some immaculate offense. Now, this is a great thing that Stephen A. brought up because this has been an issue for the Lakers throughout this season. Obviously, a lot of the Lakers' best perimeter defenders in Jarred Vanderbilt and Cam Reddish aren't playing due to injury. Also, Gabe Vincent, who was supposed to be inserted at any point this year, hasn't been able to contribute on this Lakers team due to the fact that he's been managing a knee injury for the majority of the season. Stephen A. made a great point to comment on the Lakers' inability to play defense because as great offensively as this team has been, they haven't really been able to stop anyone. And against the Kings and against the Warriors recently, in two pivotal games where they really had implications on the Western Conference standings, the Lakers' defense ended up being their Achilles heels in both of those games. They couldn't find a way to stop De'Aaron Fox against the Kings, and it really has become the tale of the tape against the Sacramento Kings for this Lakers team, as they have not been a great matchup for the Los Angeles Lakers for the better part of 2 seasons now. And truly, there is no excuse for falling to the Warriors just due to the fact that the Lakers have a considerable size advantage against the Golden State Warriors that should have been exploited in that game. However, they allowed the Warriors to get rolling offensively, and they couldn't find ways to take the wind out of their sails. Although injuries to their best defensive players have been a bit of the issue for the Lakers' defensive success, I think some of it also has to do with there being a disconnect between coaching staff and players. I think there's been a lot of coded language throughout the season surrounding the coaching staff and the players, whether it be from a time and minutes issue, from a schematics issue in terms of what the coaches are seeing versus what the players are seeing. I think these stories are starting to become more prevalent, especially ever since DAngelo Russell commented on his relationship with Coach Darvin Ham and how there seemed to be a bit of a rift between him and Darvin Ham due to the fact that Dennis Schroeder was also on the roster. Although defense is predicated a lot on effort, there still needs to be a schematic plan from coaching staff to players to put them in the right positions to succeed defensively. I understand that the lack of Jarred Vanderbilt and Cam Reddish makes it a bit harder for the Lakers in the perimeter defense category. However, it is the job of the coaching staff to adjust to these deficiencies to maximize the players that they have on the court. Because although Austin Reaves and D'Lo aren't phenomenal defenders, they are your third and fourth best scorer, and at times D'Lo is your second best scorer, and so those players are going to command a lot of minutes because of what they do offensively. So Darvin Ham and his staff do need to find ways to adjust in order to maximize the defensive potential of the units that he's putting on the floor. Now, hopefully the Lakers can get some of these players back to help impact them defensively, but the Lakers right now are really in a must-win situation, really for the remainder of the season. And finding a solution to some of their defensive troubles is honestly something that should have been addressed earlier in the season, months ago. However, now more than ever, as this season is heading towards the play-in and playoffs, the Lakers are still vying for a good seat in the standings. I mean, ultimately, I don't think the Lakers want to be the 10th seeded team going into the play-in tournament. I think if you're going as the 7th or the 8th seed, I think you can only win one game and solidify a playoffs position. I think if you come in as the 9th or the 10th seed, you have to win 2 games. And I don't know if the Lakers want to find themselves in that position now. All signs are headed towards that. However, to probably get themselves to maybe that 7th seed in the West, the Lakers are going to have to put a bunch of wins together. And Lakers guard DAngelo Russell commented on this yesterday. Lakers guard DAngelo Russell spoke to media and pretty much explained that the Lakers are in a must-win situation throughout the remainder of the season, heading into the play-in and into the playoffs. The Lakers losing those 2 games against the Kings and the Warriors did have some major implications in their standings in the West. However, luckily for the Lakers, they do have 2 other opportunities to play the Pelicans and the Warriors, which definitely, if they win those games, could adjust their Western Conference standings. But not only that, the Lakers, the rest of the way, have a lot of winnable games. They have games against the Wizards, the Brooklyn Nets, the Pelicans, the Toronto Raptors, all games that this team can go out there and win. And I know the Pelicans are playing some great basketball. Zion Williamson has been on an absolute tear post All-Star break. But the Lakers still have Anthony Davis and LeBron James leading that show. DAngelo Russell is also playing some of the best basketball of his career. So truthfully, the Lakers are in a prime position to win out the rest of the season, as long as they don't really trip over their own feet. LeBron James said it best during the early parts of the season, that the Lakers are good enough on any given night to beat any team in the NBA. However, they're also can play bad enough where they can lose to anybody in the NBA. And so truthfully, everything that the Lakers want is totally in front of them. It is up to them to figure out what they want to be, and it's going to be up to Coach Darvin Ham to make the adjustments needed to maximize this team as it stands. Lakers fans shouldn't be worried about LA falling out of the Western Conference play-in standings or finding themselves out of the playoffs as a whole. The Lakers will get into the play-in. I think right now what we have to remember, though, is that the Lakers are playing to be in a 1-win situation in the play-in tournament. They don't want to have to win 2 games to secure seeding. I think securing that 7th seed is enough for the Lakers, and I think that is something that really would be good for fans to see, because depending on who you get at that seed, as long as the Lakers could avoid Denver in that first round, I think matching up with an Oklahoma City or a Minnesota really is advantageous for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, obviously, the big key component to all of this as well is, how is Darvin Ham going to coach this team throughout the remainder of the season? I mean, him in the playoffs and his ability to coach in the play-in, these high pressure games, that's when we're really going to know what this team truly could be, because quite frankly, if the Lakers fall short in the play-in or in the playoffs under Coach Darvin Ham, I think, especially with some of the language that we've heard throughout the season from players, coaching staff, media, I think Darvin Ham truly will end up on the hot seat over how the remainder of this season plays out. If he's not already on the hot seat as is, I think he's gotten some leeway due to the carousel of injuries that the Lakers have dealt with throughout the majority of this season. However, there's no excuse come playoff time, play-in time, when you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis on your basketball team. But with that being said, make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Remember, most people watching this video right now aren't subscribed, so hit that subscribe button. I'm JayRob of Lakers Digest. Peace.